Nigeria's economy in 2024 continued to face numerous challenges stemming from previous economic reforms, high inflation, the lingering impact of the fuel subsidy removal, and FX volatility. These challenges contributed to a slow economic recovery, reduced purchasing power, and stagnation in key sectors. In this report, TV360's Okpayemi Owolsheni reports on the major economic trends and issues that shaped Nigeria in 2024.
As the global economy continues to adjust to ongoing geopolitical tensions, economic growth has slowed and inflation has remained stubbornly high across both advanced and emerging economies. In Nigeria, the nation's gross domestic product growth in 2024 stood at an estimated 3.46%, which is a slight improvement compared to 2023, but still far from the robust growth needed to address the country's pressing issues. The economic struggles were compounded by a series of key internal factors, including the continued ramifications of the removal of the fuel subsidy, FX volatility, and the persistent high inflation, among other factors. The price of fuel, which spiked shortly after the subsidy removal in 2023, remained high throughout the year, causing a ripple effect across all sectors. While the commencement of operations at the Dangote refinery offered some hope, it did not significantly ease the pressure on fuel prices. Consequently, inflation remained persistently high, with food inflation in particular reaching 34.6% in November 2024, further burdening Nigerian households. The rising cost of living and stagnant wages resulted in widespread economic hardship for many, especially lower-income Nigerians who found it increasingly difficult to afford basic goods and services.
I've never tasted turkey or Titus fish. I use pomo and ejegu. Before I reject that people who eat pomo or ejegu. I don't ever eat pomo before and ejegu. Maybe I just wish. Now my best pot of soup now is pomo and ejegu.
It really affects us because with them, as you see my shop, I used to food my shop. If you use like 2 million naira, you feed the whole shop. But now, if you 10 million naira, you not use 10 million to buy anything.
Sometimes I'll have to leave my car at home because fueling the car is more expensive for me. So when I'm actually going for a meeting or I have important outing to do, I'll go with my car. But publicly, using the public car, it's always stressful, and now the cost of transportation is high now.
They should send the fuel normal. You should be seeing fuel normal. Queue like this is too much for us. The stress is too much for us. Let the government maybe the fuel want to come down, let us know. If the fuel want to increase, let know.
The CBN's effort to control inflation included raising the monetary policy rate 6 consecutive times this year. Yet experts argue that these hikes have not been effective in curbing inflation.
What's driving the inflation is not demand pull. It's not excess money supply. So if it was excess money supply alone, then all of the hikes that we've experienced for almost 2 years would have abated inflation as it has in other parts of the world. The problem is that we also have cost push that is driven by some monetary policy and some fiscal issues, security concerns, food security problems, logistics and transportation issues, and so on and so forth. The cost of petrol, subsidy removal, all of that combined is actually what is driving inflation. So hiking rates alone cannot do it.
In June 2024, the Central Bank of Nigeria directed banks to remove the cap on the investors and exporters window of the forex market to allow for the free float of the Nigeria exchange rate. While this was seen as a positive move to stabilize the currency, the naira has remained volatile, currently trading at over 1,500 naira to the US dollar.
The fundamental issue of why the naira was where it was before the floating is liquidity. Has liquidity improved? Yes, it has improved, but not incommensurate to demands. In terms of demand and supply, demand is still very high, supply is still very low.
In the first quarter of 2024, Nigeria's public debt reached 121.67 trillion naira, marking a 24.99% increase from the previous quarter. As of March 2024, Nigeria owed significant amounts of foreign creditors, including $5.05 billion to China, $652.07 million to France, and $125.62 million to Germany. Despite this, the Nigerian government has outlined a budget deficit of 13.0 trillion naira for 2025, which experts have described as a big problem.
For 2024, we borrowed 2 billion. for 2024. This is outside the 2025 budget. We're also going to keep on borrowing in this year's budget in dollars and naira. So this creates a huge strain on the resources of the economy. Look at it this way. If we meet 100% of the revenue target in 2025, all that money, all that revenue goes to just two sources: to repay the debt and to pay salaries. That's in 2025.
Nigeria's business environment has been marred by a worrying trend in recent years, as both multinationals and local enterprises have been forced to either shut down or relocate their operations. Most of them cite harsh economic conditions, unpredictable currency fluctuations, and soaring operational costs as key factors driving their decisions, a development that has been described as worrisome by the organized private sector.
When you look at what the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics said about job, you think we are creating more jobs in the Nigerian economy. We have not created any more jobs in the Nigerian economy. That's the truth. So the job losses, also not attracting foreign direct investment into Nigeria. So that is a huge challenge. And so you have to ask yourself, why are these companies leaving? Number one, high cost of production. Because again, and that is largely driven by some of the material they use, they have to import it into this country, and then they need FX, and FX was not available, and the rate when it's available is very high, and the consumer also that will be able to consume some of these their goods that they are bringing into Nigeria, and the earning power of those Nigerians were low because rate was going high, earnings was still where it was, so they were not making profit like they used to make profit. So definitely they have to make a choice, and most of the choices they made was to exit this country. So what we need to do to attract and to create those jobs is to look at those factors that are making them leave this country and begin to see how we can address those factors.
Despite the economic turmoil in 2024, experts believe that the Nigerian economy could improve in 2025 if strategic steps are taken.
Dangote is also, if he can get the crude oil he needs to refine and export byproducts, we're going to have a new revenue line in Nigeria, which is going to be the export of byproducts. Remember that for almost 22 decades, we've not had NNPC refineries working. So no exports of byproducts. We've had Eleme, but not in the scale that Dangote is doing with the petrochemicals and the fertilizer. So imagine if Dangote is working at maybe half or three-quarter capacity. That's a new dollar revenue line coming in that I'm sure even the budget has not taken into account. So that's a big positive right there.
As Nigeria looks to 2025, the proposed budget offers hope for significant allocations. President Tinubu's ambitious plan projects a reduction in inflation to 15% and an improvement in the exchange rate. With the right policies and implementation of people-friendly reforms, experts believe Nigeria can overcome its current challenges and secure a more prosperous future. Okpeyemi Owosheni, TV360 News, Lagos.